Hey, what's up?
Hello there.
How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing okay. Just what do they say? The white guys at work say you living the dream.
Well, Sid always says she's living somebody's dream.
Somebody's dream.
It's not quite hers, but it was somebody's.
Might not be hers, but it's just that's a good one.
Yeah, it might be so. She always says that, hey, I'm living somebody's dream.
Living somebody's dream, and that's just like you got to be grateful because your nightmare is somebody's dream.
Yeah. Now, that still doesn't mean you can't complain about your nightmare.
Absolutely not. You have every right to.
Yes. That's like when you complain about your job. Be thankful you have one. I am, but I can
I am
still.
thankful, but I still got some discrepancies
Yeah,
and
there's still some issues.
got some problems here.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm thankful
definitely.
while I complain.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So, everybody, welcome to Bull Spit, the show where we talk that bull spit, and hell of a win. We got some bull spit to talk about, but
Yeah.
before we get to Bulls action, let's pivot over to a little baseball. I got some baseball news. Um, Big news in the world of baseball today for our North Side brethren, the Chicago Cubs. The breaking news is Sammy Sosa has finally issued that coveted apology that has brought him back in the graces of the Ricketts family and the Chicago Cubs.
No, it's really just the Ricketts family because everybody
Yeah,
else.
because obviously they're the ones who had the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. And then their statement: "We had no question of his blah 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 blah." What I'm glad is Sammy didn't exactly say anything about. He said, "I did some things that maybe
Absolutely.
don't admit nothing, nothing."
I like Sammy's approach.
He got to come here in May for an autograph session, and the response was great. And I think he probably sat down with his people. Like, look, this is the only, as long as they're in charge, it's the only way. So someone help sit down with me and let's craft this apology without admitting
Absolutely. It was obviously he didn't write that.
it. No, because he would have said he's optimistic.
Yeah. So
Or
to
what, or what
get
he
to
said
get
during
the
that trial.
official, huh?
I forgot what he said during the trial. That's what he would have been saying.
Oh, right. So the
Frozen.
official statement is as follows. I left it all on the field for the Cubs and the Cubs fans because I wanted to win and make the fans happy. I love to see the fans at Wrigley in the right field bleachers every home game. I understand why some players in my era don't always get the recognition that our stats deserve. There were times I did whatever I could to recover from injuries in an effort to keep my strength up to perform over 162 games. I never broke any laws, but in hindsight, I made some mistakes and I apologize. We accomplished great things as a team, and I worked extremely hard in the batting cage to become a great hitter. Cubs fans are the best in the world, and I hope that fans, the Cubs, and I can all come together again and move forward. We can't change the past, but the future is bright. In my heart, I have always been a Cub, and I can't wait to see the Cubs fans again. Very beautiful, Sammy. Wonderfully crafted. It was an apology without admission.
Yep.
Very
When he
clever.
was Yes, when he was here in May, he said, "I'm not perfect. I may have made some mistakes or something like that." He said something similar, so he started working his way around to this. All right, I might have done some things. You'll never know what I did. coming out of my mouth.
Some stuff, some things, and some stuff.
Flintstone vitamins in my locker.
Right, there's some rumors. People said that there's some things.
What was the guy with the paper bag of money in his car? What was that guy? He was on the team. It was Manny something, and he got caught with a bag.
I don't even know this one.
Oh, it was years ago, and some people attribute it to it. But this guy, I think he may have gotten caught with steroids or something. But there were a whole bunch of things. But I'm just glad that those Raggedy Ricketts are allowing him to come back. And they're probably also thankful that he apologized because they needed some goodwill with fans.
Absolutely. This story is going to make up for this not so spectacular offseason. They got some things going on,
I mean, Kyle Tucker's nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can re-sign him. For me, I love Cody Bellinger. I wanted them to make it work with him, and it could have. I'm afraid of the Seiya fallout because he does not want to be a DH. I know Ian Happ has won Gold Gloves, but he can go, and you could because offensively, the outfield would be better with Seiya and Kyle Tucker.
Absolutely.
And Seiya can play it just as well. He may not be able to throw out as many people because that's what saves Ian Happ, and that's what always gives him the Gold Glove.
And Seiya's struggled.
Yeah, he's average.
Yeah.
But that he has to be relegated to DH, and he's not going to be happy. So what is that going to be like? But anyway, the story is, I'm glad Sammy is back. We all know every plunked. It angered me to no end that he was not allowed back. It was the same old crusty, and take this however you want to people. It was the same old crusty white men who held on to that steroids thing. And it was the same old crusty white men who didn't want him back. Even some people in the media, they're crusty.
Absolutely.
And they're white. And they were like, no, he needs it better and this and that. Okay, now you can go sit down and go find some new person.
They didn't call for McGuire's head.
And that's probably one of the reasons why Sammy kept holding back. Because did Barry Bonds have to go in front of people and apologize?
No, the Giants retired his number.
Alex Rodriguez is a big man. They took away the David Ortiz thing, but he was considered, and he's big in the media. Mm-hmm. Manny Ramirez, hell, he got to come to the Cubs at one point.
Right.
So Roger Clemens,
Mr. Ricketts, Mr. Tom Raggedy Ricketts. Let's go to his statement. We appreciate Sammy releasing his statement and for reaching out. No one played harder or wanted to win more. Nobody's perfect, but we never doubted his passion for the game and the Cubs. It is an understatement to say that Sammy is a fan favorite. We plan on inviting him to the 2025 Cubs convention, and while it is short notice, we hope that he can attend. We are all ready to move forward together. That is all very kumbaya. And really, is that all it took? Was his apology to?
I mean, they kept.
You weren't even the owner when he was here.
Exactly. And if you say all that about him, how you knew him, then why was that even necessary?
Why was that necessary?
And then it had to be an apology that everyone here. He couldn't just do it with you, that's one of my problems. This and I don't even know what to call it, but you probably know what I'm thinking. Like the way they were forcing this man to do, the way they were doing this,
forcing him to kowtow and bow down.
Yeah,
it was unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm in charge. I'm the man. You're gonna do what I say, boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how they were doing it, and I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
But I'm happy that Sammy's back. So it worked. He's back. There's going to be goodwill because when you looked at that list of current players coming to the thing, nobody gives a damn about seeing Dansby Swanson. Nobody. And the Ian Happ, everybody likes Ian Happ. There were some, but it was pretty not good.
For the
So
big game, if Sammy does make it, and I think he will.
I would hope he would after
I
all
would
this.
hope so. Like after this, I would think this is the setup for
Yes.
his
And
comeback.
there needs, and then I would think the game, and when they play a game in June, if they play a game in Wrigley towards the end of June, I would think that they would celebrate his 20 home runs in June.
Absolutely.
Like this sets up a poorly sung seventh inning stretch.
A throw out the first pitch and a stint in the booth with the boys.
Yeah, exactly. You know, run to right
that
field.
We barely understand.
Right? Yes. It's setting up a lot. And because the Cubs really, you know, if you want to call them active, but not really, they need this goodwill.
Absolutely. And this is some definite goodwill.
It's there. So when I saw it, I was like, well, hot damn, Sammy's back. I guess I'll find something else to complain about the Raggedy Ricky.
Hey, there you go. I mean, there's plenty more to complain about, but Sammy's back.
Sammy's back.
There.
Yes. So if someone has some tickets to the convention, the day he's gonna be there.
You know, like he was huge in Chicago. Like, you know, that home run chase of 98, he, you know, and you had Michael Jordan in the Sammy Sosa jersey throwing out the first, like, I mean, they were like, you know, nobody's bigger than Jordan, but like Sammy was on the rise at the same time during like the Bulls' last stand. You know what I mean? Like,
yep, it sure was that night. Yes,
that 98 season. You know what I mean? And
Chicago was it was a good time. That summer, that was a good time. Between the Bulls winning.
He's had nary nothing like that since.
Even close. I mean, the 2005, 2016, they were nice.
But that ain't like,
No, but the mania that happened with those two guys in the spotlight, and then the Cubs did go to the playoffs that year.
Absolutely. I think that was Harry Carey's last season.
It might have. It was just,
or he was sick, so it was like maybe he was in and out, sort of. But
that was a time.
It was a time. It was a time.
And we've had short-lived.
As a Sox fan, I'm happy that he's back.
Well, thank you.
He should just hit up both conventions because he had him first, right?
He should be like, "Hey, you all want me to come there? I can bring some goodwill there too."
Absolutely. Like the White Sox sure need some goodwill.
He's a former White Sox player.
Absolutely.
I think I have a photo of him. Like I went to the White Sox convention one year, and I got a photo of him and his White Sox with his Jerry curl.
Oh yeah, that was Jerry curl, Sammy.
Yes. Good afternoon,
Ramon. You're in Korea.
Yes.
Good afternoon, brother.
Good afternoon to you.
All right.
Yeah, so that's some good news. So happy for
so how do you feel about the Kyle Tucker thing?
You know, it's fine. He's fine. He's a good player. He's really good, and you know, I hope he'll sign. I hope the Cubs won't be cheap because he's going to want money. Well, he was very much so wanted by a lot of people. So, you know, people said he's like underappreciated as a player, an offensive player and defensive player. So it's fine. It's that, does it move the needle that much for me? No. And I know when you put his numbers next to Juan Soto, but come on now. It's Juan Soto.
Yeah, that was the numbers. I saw that comparison, and I was like,
I know they are comparable, but star power.
Yeah, absolutely. Still sorry that they weren't able to make any move on that. Yeah.
They tried. The last time they quote unquote tried for somebody, they got the fourth best in their class, and that's Dansby Swanson. He was the fourth best person. He's Carlos Boozer.
Absolutely. You know, if we would have got rid of Billy, we would have hit the trifecta of firing coaches.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's Billy Donovan right now, the longest tenured coach in the city.
And you know how I am on him. I'm iffy.
Yeah. I think a better coach and you know, to transfer over, I think a better coach should do more with his team, but we'll talk a little bit more about that, but in the meantime, we got some good Cubs news. I don't think we have talked since the Sox have dealt Garrett Crochet for once again to the Red Sox. So this feels eerily similar to the Chris Sale thing. I mean, Chris Sale was a far more established pitcher than Garrett Crochet was at the time. So I mean, what do we got? I think that's what got us Yohan Moncada.
Okay.
Which looked good for a minute and then
he just didn't stay healthy.
Yeah. And then Yohan Moncada trying to make his comeback, and I don't know, he was in the Dominican Republic, someplace playing winter ball, and fouled a ball off his foot, so he's out indefinitely now again. So like I don't know.
Does he speak well?
No.
Oh, well, he better get on ESPN Deportes. It's time to start working on that career.
Yeah, absolutely. He got the look, right?
Yeah. And at this point, he's only going to get like minor league deals, and then he hurts himself every time. So
every time. So Garrett Crochet for the bigger name was not a big name, but the most coveted thing they got back was Kyle Teal, catcher, outfielder Brandon Montgomery, infielder Chase Maydross, and right-hander Winkelman Gonzalez. But Kyle Teal supposedly is supposed to be like, next up. I don't know where that leaves Corey Lee, but we'll see what happens. Not like Corey Lee was killing the ball, but one of their better hitters of this last season, actually.
Okay.
Ramon, you like the Tucker signing? I like it too. It's not a game changer, but I thought it was a good move.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. They had, and it's another one of those, they had to do something, and they had to get somebody that other people wanted. Yeah, they've made enough of the under the radar. Was really anyone really checking for any of these people? They've made those deals, so they had to make a deal for someone that the Yankees, the big boys, wanted. They had to.
Absolutely.
And then they're trying this. They're saving a little money with the Cody Bellinger because they're so poor. That's why they had to trade Cody Bellinger, because they needed to get some money so they could be flexible with their moves.
Right. Okay. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. Are these jingle bells noisy when I'm talking?
I didn't even notice them.
Okay. All right.
I think it's fine. A little Christmas spirit never hurt anybody.
Thanksgiving, and then we'll get back to sports. I've never been this unorganized for Christmas ever. And so someone brought it up. Why? Because Thanksgiving was so late this year.
Yeah, it was like right around it was
the end of November, like the 28th or 29th, something like that.
Less than 4 weeks away, or just barely 4 weeks. Yeah.
I was like, what is this? Yeah, I remember still shopping at this point.
It's just another 2024-ism weirdness and unorthodox nonsense that has happened this year. Again, I'm grateful for being alive.
Still here, but that doesn't mean
2024 was quite a doozy.
It was, and there's still a lot of days left.
And that's a lot of time for some more zany shit to happen.
Right. I'll take zany good. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe there's will be some funny, zany, now that's crazy. We can have that.
Absolutely. You're a little sad to see Belly go. He was doing this thing that first year, a little inconsistent last year. May not have been worth the money, but we'll see what he does. And I don't know, they were just dead set on moving him. So
yeah, they were. Because they wanted the money. Yeah. And he wasn't as consistent, but when you look at his numbers, he was still better than several.
Oh, better than most players on the team.
Yeah. That tells you how bad it was for the whole team. Yeah. If a person who had been injured was up and down, wasn't bringing the power that you were expecting on him and that he got the year before, and he still was like top 5 in just about everything, if not close to 1 or 2 in several things. I don't have the stats up, but I just remember he was doing better than most, and so is Sam. The people that you want to talk about not worth money, my whipping kid is
Mr. Swanson.
Yes. That is who I probably sometimes unfairly focus on. At least I can admit sometimes it's just, how you just get dead set on someone. That's just the one.
He's your Patrick Williams.
Yes.
The way I am about Patrick Williams. Even if he does something good. Patrick Williams, I think 14 points tonight. Hit some clutch shots. No.
But
no,
when he got that, when they stripped him, when he was dribbling to the hole, I was like, oh, this guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, there he goes again.
But then when he hit the throw, I was like, ooh, Pat, because I'm trying to lead with love. Maybe I need to lead with love with Dansby.
The cowardly lion.
And I guess when we get back to Bulls, I have some issues with them as well. But
no time like the present.
Okay.
Let's get to it. This is Bull Spit after all, and we're here to talk some Bull stuff. I don't know if anybody saw, but an exciting one tonight. The Bulls beat the world champions.
Yes, and they I know some people say, well, they just missed a lot of threes. Okay, that's how people usually beat the Bulls, missing threes and not getting rebounds. But they also, especially that bench, and I know I say Billy keeps the bench in too long, but this game I wanted him to keep them in as long as he did.
Our benches really what came through. Io, Julian Phillips was huge.
Yes.
Julian Phillips was huge.
Smith, THT.
I'm starting to really like Julian Phillips.
Yeah. I like him too. I like him as a role player.
Absolutely. Yeah. But he's a very solid role player.
Oh yeah, whose space he took in the rotation for me.
Oh, your boy.
Yes.
Javon?
No, not that one. The Mr. All Over the Place. Dalen.
Oh, Dalen.
Yeah. And Dalen's been playing better. I like to
Dalen was actually better.
Yeah, he's not my whipping. I do like him. He's just all over.
I like Dalen. How can you dislike Dalen? He's like a little boy.
He's like a big kid, just like doesn't know his strength, his speed, or what he's doing. He's just gonna be out there flying all over the place.
He's like
if you want to go in the
crazy
order
little puppy out there.
Yes. But if you want to go right now in the order of who comes off the bench first, I think Phillips has now leaped back over Buzelis.
I believe so. Yeah. And I like Buzelis, but Julian Phillips has definitely been more solid.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
I have been on that take. And Billy seems like
I'm going to agree with that, Ramon.
Yes. He's a lovely man. He's a lovely man. But I don't think this is it for him. And if they start trading people, I think he's going to let it be known that this isn't for him. He's not.
Man, you saw Zach's performance tonight, and I just
hear what he said?
What are you really doing trading him?
Right. Did you hear what Zach had to say about it?
No, what did he say?
Casey Johnson, and he talked at the end of the game. When he talked to Casey Johnson, he told Casey, he's like, I signed here for a reason. This is where I want to be. He said, I can't control it. So I'm out of that anymore. He said, that's not coming from me. I can't control who wants me. He says, it's nice to be wanted. And he told him, looking at this team, if we keep this team intact, and it's probably saying we get something else, we're a playoff team. Then at the end,
a real playoff team.
Yes.
Especially with a healthy Lonzo Ball.
Yes. And he's upping his minutes, I just need Billy to get that rotation right. He should be in the end of the game with Zach and Vooch.
Yes. And he was in that Charlotte game, but because Zach was out.
Zach was out.
Right.
He needs to be in there. Kobe can go sit down, or somebody, or Patrick Williams, someone else can go sit
down. Even Io. I mean, I like Io. Don't get me wrong, but like you definitely want Lonzo in that game.
Yes, because he can keep it under control. He makes the smart plays, and he's going to make the smart defensive plays.
Best vision on the team.
Yes. I think Billy needs to change his rotation that second half.
Mhm.
Keep Io and Kobe and Giddy more in the third and the beginning of the fourth. The closing lineup at this point needs to include Lonzo Ball. Your
I agree
closing
100%.
lineup should be Zach, Ball, Vooch, probably Io for defense, and you could go Jalen Smith
So
for
you're not
rebound.
including Kobe White on that closing?
No, because I have
Okay.
Lonzo as my point guard who can really see. And he shoots the three well enough. And I have Io as my guard who can guard everyone. And he's going to drive to the basket. And then I
Yeah.
have, and
When
see,
they all fall in love with the three, Io
Yeah.
says, okay, I'm going to put the ball on the
Yeah.
floor.
and he's a speedy guy to the basket.
Yeah.
And then I have Vooch and Jalen Smith for rebounding and spreading the floor because they both can hit the three well enough.
Yeah.
And then you have Zach.
I want to see more Vooch and Jalen Smith together, but we were preaching that last year with Drummond and Vooch.
Stacey King brings it up every game. It's like he's begging. He begged for the Drummond
He begged for Drummond and Vooch last year.
And he's saying, and he's so right. Other teams are using two bigs in the lineup.
I mean, it's still like basketball, and still like having big guys are an advantage.
Look at the Cavs when they have what is it, Allen, and is it Mobley, whoever the other big guy is.
Evan Mobley, the Afro guy, right?
Yeah, that's Jared Allen, I think.
Jared Allen, okay.
And then there's another, it may be Mobley. They have another big guy, but they're always in there. And when the Bulls play them, that's why they struggle, because there's two big guys and you only have Vooch or you only have Jalen Smith. Yeah. And for big body, big guy, that's Vooch. And then Vooch and the difference with Andre Drummond is he couldn't do anything but stay in the middle. So that could have clogged things up. But with Jalen Smith and Vooch, they both can shoot from the outside.
Jalen Smith's much more versatile than Drummond.
Yes. Drummond's a better rebounder, defender, true. All that. That is true. But for the way they want this offense to run, Vooch and Jalen Smith would be great together.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to what Ramon said, fire Billy. I think a better coach should get more out of this team. And, man, I swear, like, they're just a couple of pieces and some better coaching away from, I'm not saying the championship, but like a real 5 seed or something in this still weak East.
And you still relatively young team. Your oldest guy is Vooch. Yeah. So he'll eventually age himself out. You don't even need to trade him.
You need to trade him because you're not going to get anything that's more valuable to the team
than Vooch.
Even trading Zach, you're not going to get something that's worth Zach to the team.
Michael Porter Jr. is not Zach. I don't care if he's averaging 18 right now. That's because he plays with Jokic. Get him on this team, and you don't have Vooch or Alonzo Ball.
Right.
Okay, he might average more, but they're losing.
I don't understand what.
And it's like they're hell bent on it at this point. Zach looks so happy this year, and
he's balling out this year. On his way to a third All-Star trip, I would think at this pace.
Oh yeah, I think the Bulls conceivably need to have 2 All-Stars, whether they're voted in or the coaches bring in. They have 2 All-Stars on this team right now.
And Vooch and
Zach. There might be big guys playing as well as Vooch, but how many are playing better than him?
Right, and truly a big man. And don't go putting the guard in as your
right.
Fifth,
exactly.
Your center. The All-Star gets
all. Yes, and I think that's when they're talking about how to make the All-Star competitive. Go back to positions. Stop being positionless.
Stop putting guards in.
Yeah,
jacking up threes.
That's why no one watches it. That's another reason why no one's watching the game now.
I would love it if they just eliminate the 3-point bucket. Just no more 3-point.
Make it so far back that every team's not going to take it now.
Right. Do something to make people. I just want people to play a more balanced game.
Yeah. Yes.
Somehow.
The 3-point shot should be the shot where usually only like Damian Lillard and Steph Curry make. That damn
it
near
was
at the
like
end.
that for a minute.
What'd you say?
It was like that for a minute.
Well, yeah, like you only had a few people who could do it, or were even gonna try to do it. Because there were
remember, like the team that shot all the threes couldn't win it.
Nope.
Because you live by the three, you die by the three. But now everybody's living and dying by the three. Now you got a chance now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
LeBron
ratings down in the NBA.
LeBron and KD were talking about the three. They see it. They understand. And especially LeBron's not a three-point shooter. So now you're taking away how he can shine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they see the ratings. They see people don't care as much.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people say, well, the season doesn't start till Christmas Day, but the ratings are down 28%. I believe it's 48% over 2 years or something crazy, or over 3 or 4 years.
That's not going to matter. That's still going to be down even after Christmas.
Yeah, because once you're done with that game.
Yeah.
And then if you're not in that city, because now there's football on Christmas. So now now the number one sport does something all of your big days. Now they're playing.
Yeah, so now you're losing that Christmas Day juice because you got NFL
on. And more of the country, laterally loves football.
Oh, NFL is everything.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
So, somebody may flip to see and then the Lakers aren't even that good. So they've made it. And while LeBron is the most popular guy still in the league, it's not the craze to watch him.
No, because his team is losing, and it's some rather average to below average basketball being played.
Which is why, if there's any time you're going to try to restack your team a little you can even go get young good players if you're the Bulls.
Yeah.
To still keep that youth movement.
Absolutely.
And you're in the play-in, and you're not that far from getting into an actual playoff spot.
They're too. It just seems like they're too close to blow it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know what the hell they're
right
doing.
now. They look way better than the year they decided to bring all three back. That was probably the year if you were going to make the move to blow it up.
That was really the down year.
Yes, that was probably the year to do it instead of trying it one more time.
Yeah.
But now that you've kept two, Lonzo's come back. Io's still playing well. I'm worried about Kobe. We already know about Patrick Williams. And they're doing this without even getting the best out of Kobe, like what we got last year.
Right. This is not last year's Kobe White.
If you could get 75% of last year's Kobe White and tonight Patrick Williams every night.
Well, we already know we're not going to get Patrick Williams like this every night. Let's just
you skip over to Kobe and went
just ain't gonna happen. Damn cowardly lion.
And at this point, I like Josh Giddey and all, but just imagine if Alex Caruso was still on this team as well.
Yeah, for that defensive prowess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
they could easily be 7th, 6th.
Like a real playoff team.
Yes. I mean, and the way they play, which is always one of their biggest problems. Sometimes they play down to competition.
Absolutely.
They play the good teams very well. So
they hang with them.
They do. Their defense gets better. I mean, even Vooch was
intensity turns up. Like they were like dogs tonight. Like all the 50-50 balls, they were snagging them. They wanted it more than Boston tonight.
I think
don't get me wrong, Boston's still Boston.
Right.
But the Bulls came to play tonight. And if you could get a coach that could get them to play for him every night, at least 2 out of 3 nights, you got a real playoff team.
Yes. Now they may get slaughtered on Saturday because
they're gonna get their asses whipped on Saturday because Boston is coming for blood.
Right. So we're gonna enjoy this.
We're gonna enjoy this 3 in a row. Come Saturday. Somebody's ass is getting whipped, and it's
that's gonna come to a screeching halt. They're gonna hit like 10 threes in a row or something crazy.
Like they were pissed. Joe Mazzulla was, it was text getting called.
Yeah.
Like,
and Tony Brothers was looking at him like, I dare you.
What you want to do, little man?
He's like, come on, Cletus.
Yeah, right. Like, come on, Cletus.
Because he's old school. He's like, come on.
Yeah, he was like,
he didn't back down at all. He was
let's go.
He always has that look of like, I wish I would.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey.
Yeah. So we'll enjoy this, have some fun with it. Zach played well. Key shots by Julian Phillips. Gonna give him the game ball and going for loose balls, playing hard. Patrick, he came through. THT, sometimes he came through. Yeah, he scares me sometimes because he likes to shoot too many threes, but
horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. But
he did LA Fitness.
Oh my gosh. He's just such a lumbering guy. Even when he's driving to the basket, like
did you see the alley-oop from Lonzo to him and he hit the reverse dunk though? Oh,
like, you can get all that.
He got some ups. It don't look like it.
Not at all. And you forget how young he is because he looks old.
He looks like he works at UPS during the day.
And he looks like he plays on the rec on Saturdays and Sundays.
Exactly. And he's like 35. That's how he looks.
Yes, that is how he looks.
Yeah.
He's what, 22, 23? Nothing about him.
He's super young.
I believe so. I believe he is super duper young. Let's see. Watch me be wrong. He is. Has to give me everything but his age. He's 24. You look at him, nothing about him says he was born in 2000.
No. He looked like he was born in like 83.
Yeah. Oh my God. Nothing about him looks like he is only 24. That's an old 24.
Yeah.
People, if this was baseball, they'd be asking for his birth certificate.
Or like, if he was like from Cuba or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean in baseball.
Body records.
Yeah.
No birth certificate.
And so I'm looking at pictures when he was with the Lakers. He looks young. When he was with whoever he was with before, he looks young. This picture with the Bulls, when he starts losing his hair, he looks old.
Yeah.
Old, compared to 24, he looks old.
I mean, old for a basketball player,
yes.
Which is like 35, 36.
He looks old for 24.
Yeah.
24.
But he came to play tonight, and
he did. So it was really good contributions for the team. So one of the things I want to talk about before we switch or anything, when I said I'm worried about Kobe, he can't see well. There was since Giddey was out, they allowed him to be the point guard. And in the first quarter, Vooch sealed his man a few times. He had the smaller guy on him. And Kobe just can't see. We saw that last year. He's not a point guard. And
doesn't have the vision.
Yeah, he does not. And his decision making, I don't know what's wrong with him. He just doesn't seem the same. It's just not the same. And maybe was that the regression to me? Maybe this is how I don't know. It's just not the same. And we say they could be a playoff team, or they are one now, but they could be even better one. But you have to get more from him.
Absolutely. It's a long season, and then we're about a third of the way through now.
Right. And you have to have a third high scorer. You know what you're going to excuse me. You know what you're going to get from Zach and Vooch. They may have an off game. Everyone does.
But you need a guy who's going to threaten 20 on any given night.
Because if they had a third gardish good scorer like last year, you could stagger Zach and the other guy like the Celtics do. They're able to stagger Jalen and Jason.
Right.
You can't stagger Vooch and Zach like that.
No,
I mean,
no,
he
no.
does, but it's not the same. You need two kind of like player, like, you
And
know.
then you like the Zach and Vooch connection.
Yes.
You
So
know,
you
like I
have to
like
keep
them in there
together.
together.
Yes. They play, you can tell that they like, well, you can tell the whole team likes each other, but you can tell they like playing, they know how to play with each other. Like Zach made that pass. Now, you know, Vooch cannot bend down like that, Zach.
Oh, yeah, that Aaron pass, and he was apologetic about that. You
Yeah,
can tell.
you know it. He's like, oh, I forgot. He's like, I forgot. You know, Vooch is an old man. He can't bend down like that. And then he had to run all the way back down the court to defend. And then he was like, let me out, coach. And I noticed Billy does a lot of times take them out and bring them in at the same time. But I need him to get on that same rotation with Lonzo. Zach and Lonzo and Vooch, they play so well together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, man, you could just see it like with Lonzo out there. I'm like, this guy. Like,
that's what we've been missing the whole time.
That's what we've been missing.
And that's why we always talk about
he runs fast pace.
Yep.
He's got the vision. He grab it and he knows to just launch it up court right away. Like those baseball passes up the court. He pushes it so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have anybody that does that. And I just feel like this team, I just wish they would give them a chance to get better. Like, and I know they've been together a long time and maybe but not with Lonzo.
That's always been the missing piece. And that's why we
this long.
That's what you said before. Why now?
Why now? What's it? And he's showing you, like, yeah, I'm coming back. Like, once those minutes increase, like, why are you breaking it up now?
Now. This is not, that is what has always been missing. And that's why we always complain, because they're not a proactive management team. They never went and got a capable replacement, a capable floor general. They never, because that is what they've always been missing.
That's what they always needed, even with DeMar and everything.
Yeah. They're not, even though they both can get assists, they're not him.
Yeah, it's different. It's something more than just the stat of assists.
Yeah. And Kobe is not made to be a point guard. Like, not everyone's made. Josh, yes, you can see Josh Giddey as a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's just very awkward. He and Taylor
sometimes struggles with offense.
Yes. So, and at those moments, I just need you to facilitate.
Yeah.
Like
when Lonzo doesn't shoot too much.
Right. Yes.
Like he shoots when the shot is there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got just as good of a chance of knocking it down as anybody else. But he's not always looking to just shoot.
Exactly.
He's looking for the best shot available. Mm-hmm. And we've never had anybody that could do that since he went down.
I mean, they were the number one team before he got. And, remember after, these three can't play together, they were the number one team, Vooch, DeMar, and Zach.
Yeah.
When what's his name was there? When Lonzo, I don't know why I can't think of anyone's name. I guess I'm all hyped about this. When he was there, they were the number one team in the East. They were they were rolling.
They were rolling.
And then you had like the bench mob, the defensive people coming in to give them all a break. And then when it was time for offense, like they put in your mind similar to what it was when we had a bench mob. We had an offensive minded first, starters. Mm-hmm. You could bring in a bench mob, maybe someone who could do a little offense. At that point, he could stagger Lonzo, Zach, DeMar, Zach, like you could stagger other people. Right. And I know we're preaching and we're going to be disappointed. All I know is they better not trade any of these damn people before January 4th. Do not have a damn Derrick Rose day, and we were looking at trash.
God. When is the trade deadline?
February.
Okay. I mean, but obviously they can move people at any point. I'm so sick of looking at these scenarios about trading Zach. Like,
yes, because now it's the Denver Nuggets who are
I
hot
don't know.
on him, and the book. That's why I brought up Michael Porter Jr. because that's who would have to come back.
Like,
And
what are you getting in return with Michael Porter Jr. over Zach?
another injury guy who can get injured, but is not Zach.
But it's not even as good as Zach. Like, what are you doing?
And he doesn't. And Zach probably plays better defense. One
Now,
of Denver's biggest problems is their defense has gone down. That's why they're not playing as well. They can still score a lot, but they can't stop anybody. So that means if they're willing to give up Michael Porter, that means he can't play defense either. And Zach will play when he feels like it.
Yeah.
And this year he's been taking on the tougher guy. Like
he's
really out to prove something. Yeah, he's really out to prove. Number one, he got a bad rep, and Stacey King always talks about it. He's like, this rumor started from somewhere. He knows where it is. He's just not going to say it.
Right.
So Stacey likes to stir it a little bit, but not all the way. He's not trying.
He stirs a little bit, but he can't like dump it out. He got to keep his job.
Right. So, but he was like, I don't know why this started. He's always been a great teammate. That has never been a problem. Right. All this stuff we heard about him. It's never been a problem, and you could tell that Stacey really doesn't want to be a commentator for rebuild.
Who wants that? I mean,
in this city,
who would want that?
No, we're already doing it. Even for Sox fans who are like calling for the Bulls to just tear it all down. Do you like what you're watching during baseball?
Oh my God, it is horrible.
Yeah, this is not fun. And waiting 5 years for something to maybe get better. This city is too big, and we have too many damn historical organizations to always have to tear it down.
Constantly.
We always have to act like we're Minnesota for baseball.
And Minnesota does so much better than the South.
I'm trying to think who's worse. Well, okay, we have to act like we're Colorado or something. And But like we have to keep tearing it down and hope to find somebody and hope to get that star. Look,
it's like y'all looking for Michael Jordan or Derrick Rose again.
That ain't happening.
That ain't happening.
We already had our two, Jordan, and we got lucky with Derrick. That's not happening anymore because we fumble it every time. The league is like, nope, y'all keep messing. You take these Patrick Williams, Dalen Terrys, etc.
Every time it's a fumble.
Yeah, and so then the Blackhawks, they get this generational talent in Connor Bedard, and they're trash.
They're fumbling.
Fired their coach.
Got to fire their coach. Yep.
So you trust this leadership to rebuild? How long? I don't even know. Was Connor Bedard his second year or whatever?
This is the second year.
I see nothing that is improved. I would need Frank the Tank to get on here and actually tell me. I could be wrong, but from what I see nothing that is improved in his second year. And this is a generational talent.
Well, they fired their coach, so that tells you quite a bit.
Yeah, because they're like, wait, we should. I'm not saying we want to go to the playoffs, but should we just be the trash of the league still?
Yeah.
With Connor Bedard, and then there's some other players that I hear Frank talk about that are good that they have. So this is what rebuilds look like.
It just seems like the ownership here just likes very mild-mannered people. They don't like alpha coaches.
Ryan Poles.
Right. Right.
I'm going to draft like me.
I'm going to draft like me, and I'm going to get somebody who's mild-mannered and talks like this all the time and doesn't get fired up. We haven't had a coach like that, and we'll talk a little Bears for a minute before we go. um, like they're so afraid of losing control
Mm.
that they'd rather have all the control and lose than to deal with an alpha and win. I don't get that. Is that ego? What is that?
I don't know. And everybody likes structure. Even when they say they don't, everyone does better with structure.
Everybody respects structure. And they respect a guy coming in and putting a foot in people's ass when they're not performing or not doing their best.
Because whatever happened, and there's several stories, whatever happened between Jalen Johnson and Eberflus, that wouldn't have happened with somebody else.
No,
you can talk.
Had to happen.
Right, you can talk to me, but you're not gonna try to embarrass me. I'm the coach.
Bump me in front of my locker room.
Right.
He punked him, and Flus just walked out.
Yes, they were like, "Oh, it's best you leave." What? And see, that's because there wasn't a strong enough structure. These are young, sometimes older men who play a barbaric sport, so they're all over the place.
Grown men, a little crazy.
Yeah, it's not a calm sport, so you're not going to always have people like, well, usually the well people are probably your quarterback because they do have to really
focus, got to be a little more cerebral.
Yes. Other folks, they're like, got to hit you as hard as I can.
Yeah.
I got to make sure I'm in the right space. So, and they're hyped up and all. So I'm not saying you have to yell at people, but you have to call people.
You can't be afraid to yell at people if that's what's needed.
Exactly.
You don't have to yell at everybody, but some guys respond to that.
Even if I'm calling you in my office, like a parent who says, I'm going to take you in the bathroom. I'm not getting ready to do it out here, so you can call
I'm going to spank you in the back.
Exactly. I'm not going to do it so you can call the authorities when I'm spanking you.
Right.
But
you call CFS on me.
Oh, yeah, right. But there's no proof if I bring you in this bathroom. But as a child, if a parent says you want to go in that bathroom, you better straighten up.
Straighten up.
And so if you have a player who's acting up, you're like, I need to see you in my office. And then you let them know, I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to. And they need to sit down. I still believe Tyrique Stevenson never should even got to play that game.
He should not have even been in the game the next week. At all.
Nope. You didn't let him start. He shouldn't have played at all.
He shouldn't have played at all. And you set that standard.
And Jalen Johnson,
this fool, he's out there acting up, stupid penalties, not paying attention on the last play. And you let that slide. Well, like other guys that are playing hard and doing the right thing are looking like, well, what the hell?
And what was it, Mercedes Lewis, and I think it was Jalen Johnson, one of them, kind of said something like letting people kind of get away with stuff, not addressing it. And so you let something slide, and then it's going to keep building. And so you have some people are like, you're just going to let that go?
Where's the accountability?
Yes, I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm mad, I'm all this, but I'm still going to, but you can go talk to fans. Oh, okay.
And not be where you're supposed to be.
And our season's been and you've been messing up almost every game.
Every game. It's a stupid roughing penalty or foul or something dumb he does.
Yes. And you're the one they pick on because of how you play when the other team.
Yeah.
So it's the Bulls, they don't even really need anyone to yell at because it's such a nice group of guys. But what they
just need somebody with a better strategy.
Yes, that's what it is. They
better
need
rotation, better strategy.
We've never played the pro game. Stacey King is always saying the same thing. He's played on championship teams. So if Stacey can see these things, how come you can't coach? You're with these guys more than anybody. Now, I give you, Donovan, you were right about the team, okay? I gave you that one. Remember when we asked for the team last year? Yeah. And then we was like, oh, that's why Billy didn't.
That's why he don't play.
Stop. But let's see if Jalen and Vooch can play together. Do short spurts. Let them get used to it.
I don't know. I don't understand his.
You let Buzelis and Vooch play together. That's two big guys.
I don't understand his ideology when it comes to this. But
Alonzo's getting better. He needs to be in the closing lineup.
absolutely, you need to save him. You know, if you got minutes restriction, save him for the stretch, down the stretch. Like he needs to be in the game at the end because he's very capable, more capable than anybody on the team when it comes to certain things. And you can see it. You totally
He's
see
the
it.
smartest
And
player.
the more he plays, the more you see it.
You're like, hey.
Like, damn, like, okay, like we kind of got something here. Like,
right. Where were you last year? Like, oh, you're stupid knee.
couldn't run, couldn't jog last year.
I know, right? It was like, your stupid knee.
Yeah, he got his cadaver knee now. I mean,
man, sure does. Got a little
good to go.
dog and pig and cow in that knee, and he's all right now.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, but we'll enjoy it as long as we can.
Yeah, because we know
it's coming, and it's gonna be sad, and they'll win some games because everybody does, but it's
not the Sox. But I hear you. Like I never thought that they could lose that many games. Like you played so many games, how could you lose that many of them? But anyways, I digress.
That's a lot of games. They won't lose that many this year.
They couldn't possibly, right?
No. I hope.
Couldn't possibly.
Do they have some pitching? Do they have any pitching? Isn't that one of their biggest problems?
No.
So
actually, their biggest problem is they don't have any hitting and they play poor defense.
Oh.
They develop pitchers.
That's right.
Well.
That's why people always want their pitchers. You're right.
That's the only thing the White Sox do well is they develop pitching well. And we had some young guys that were looking good. But it's like if you don't score more than 1-2 runs, it's like, well, you gotta have freaking, prime, Roger Clemens out there, somebody to, like if you're only scoring 2 runs, 1 run, 0, like I mean, we had one of the lowest. We had just maybe above Colorado, but we had the lowest batting average in the league. We had some decent pitching, but we couldn't hold on to leads because I mean, you can't hold a game with just scoring 1 run, 2 runs. You can't hold. You can't win any games like that.
That's rare. If you can, and that's a lot of pressure on those arms. So now
way too much pressure on young arms.
Because when they talk about during the broadcast, there's a difference on when there's pressure, when you're pitching, you're trying to hold on to that 1 run or whatever, the pressure you put on your arms, you're just getting closer and closer to injury.
Yeah.
A lot of, I just want everyone to be good. I want the Sox to be good. I want the Cubs.
All at the same time?
Yes. I'm not even saying anyone's winning a championship, but can we all be good?
Well, just not be an embarrassment. A national embarrassment.
Can we all?
The Bears are a national embarrassment.
Oh my gosh. And just throw away the whole team. I mean, coaching. I'll throw away the whole coaching staff.
Yeah, because this guy, Tony Brown, is not. He's still infected. He's still running the offense that, is just infected with losing.
And they should have just said, hey, Matt, can we just demote you because this defense is.
Because now the defense looks terrible.
I'm like, weren't you sitting there in meetings with Eberflus? You can't call the same thing.
All that great red zone defense we had is gone now.
And they missed what's his name? Is it Billings? Who was the guy who got hurt? They missed him on the run defense.
Yeah.
Well, I just want good. I just competitive.
Well, maybe 2025 will bring something different for us. Yeah. But with that being said, I think it's about that time.
Merry Christmas. Happy holiday.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Peace. Oh, wait, where's our teenage jump? Here we go.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.